it's Kira and welcome back to my channel. So I've just not been feeling the greatest today, so I figured I would just do a little tag video. I haven't done tag video in a while, but Ariel just posted this one not too long ago. It is the, my phone will load, it's the reading habits tag. I don't know where it originally came from, but like I said, I originally saw it on Ariel's channel, so I will link her video in the description below, of course. And if my phone will work with me, I will pull up the questions. So it's just talking about your different reading habits. So yeah, I'll just get into it. So the first question is, do you have a certain place at home for reading? And not really. I usually just use my bed, honestly. I wish that I had like a good reading chair, but I really don't. And like I'm home right now when I'm filming this. But even at school, like if I want to read for fun, I read in my bed. If I'm doing schoolwork, like I sit at my desk and read. Occasionally I will lay in bed and read for schoolwork, but I can't focus as well for like what I need to be reading on for school versus like if I'm laying in bed versus like if I'm just reading for fun, I can like let myself get lost in the story and it doesn't really matter. If I'm like super paying attention to like every word that I'm reading kind of thing. So I wish that I had like a good reading chair, but no, it's usually just my bed. Question 2, bookmark or random piece of paper? Bookmark all the way. I have so many bookmarks. I even have them separated into two different like places that I keep them in. So yeah, they're both in mugs actually. So the first mug is all my like really fancy and fun and cool bookmarks, and the second one is just like older bookmarks or just like really thin or paper bookmarks. In my library here at home, in the children's section, they have like spaces for bookmarks that you're allowed to take one bookmark per visit. And so because of that, I have accumulated so many just like pieces of paper bookmarks that have like a silly pattern on them, but they're not like real fancy. But then also like since joining BookTube, I've like gotten a ton of like really fancy bookmarks, or I've like bought bookmarks. Like when I went to England, I got one from when I went to Stonehenge, like things like that. So I always use bookmarks. If I like am in a pinch and for some reason don't have a bookmark, I'll grab a piece of paper, but I usually have like multiple bookmarks in the vicinity of where I am, and so like I don't have to worry about that. Number 3 says, can you just stop reading or do you have to stop after a chapter / a certain amount of pages? I can just stop reading. I've done this less and less as I've gotten older, but I used to bring my book to school when I was in I even kind of remember doing it in elementary school, but also like in high school, I would bring my book to school, and if I had an extra like 2 minutes, like if I finished whatever we were supposed to be working on, I would just pull out my book and read like 2 pages before we moved on to the next thing, and I definitely got in trouble for that. So I definitely can just stop whenever. It kind of depends on the situation nowadays. Like, usually I'll try and get to like a certain chapter, but it's not necessarily my goal. It's also just like, maybe I don't. You know, I really don't. I just kind of read until I feel like stopping. If there's like a page break in the middle of a page, that's always a good place for me to stop. Or like if I know that I have like 2 pages till the end of the chapter, I'll finish the chapter. But I can just stop reading whenever. Yeah. Number 4, do you eat or drink while reading? Not usually. If I were to drink anything, it would probably be water. Occasionally I'll eat like popcorn, or like pretzels or something, but I don't tend to, because my main spot for reading is here in bed. Like, I'm laying down most of the time, so that's not really conducive to eating. So, not really, no. Number 5, multitasking, music or TV while reading. So this is actually a funny story. When I was younger, I could not read if there was any music playing whatsoever. Like I just, my focus would go to the music and I just couldn't focus on my book. I've gotten better over the years of like tuning out if somebody's listening to music like around me. But since I started college, I have to be listening to instrumental music to do homework. And that has transitioned into my reading for fun. Like, I even will turn on like instrumental playlists on Spotify and just have them playing here in my room while I'm reading. And it's not like there's any noise I need to drown out, but I don't know, it helps me concentrate, I think. I can't listen to anything with words. Like, there's no way I can concentrate on reading either homework or a book for fun if there's lyrics in the song. But if it's just instrumental, I've gotten to the point where I like almost need it to be able to read. It's really weird, but that's just how it is. Number 6, one book at a time or several at once. So usually it's at least 2. There's my cat at my door. Here's Diggory. Hi. Do it again. My cat is so stupid. I'm usually reading an audiobook as well as a physical book at all times. Typically, I read only one physical book at a time. Usually with audiobooks too, I try and do just like one at a time, because then I'm already reading 2 books at once. Sometimes, depending on when things come in from the library, I'll be reading multiple books at the same time. So like last month, I was listening to the audiobook for These Broken Stars, and then my audiobook hold for Illuminate came in, and I'd honestly forgotten that I'd put that one on hold because it took so long to get to me. So I like stopped reading These Shadow Stars and started reading Illuminate right away. So occasionally, like if something like that happens where like I know I only have like a week to finish this, I'll put other books on hold and then start reading another one, but usually it's only one audiobook and one physical book at a time. Number 7, reading at home or everywhere. Definitely everywhere. I used to always bring a book everywhere, and even now, like, I'll usually still put a book for fun in my backpack when going to classes, although now we've just been moved to all online classes for the rest of the semester, so that's not a thing anymore for this semester. But yeah, I'll typically bring a book even if I don't end up reading it. But yes, I definitely will read in public, read anywhere, as well as at home. Number 8, reading out loud or silently in your head. So for books for fun, I definitely read them silently in my head. But I've found that, especially because I am taking like English classes and we've been reading a lot of poetry. So I took a poetry class last semester, and then this semester I'm in an online English class, and a lot of the stuff that she assigns is like poetry or short stories. And for me, like, I found that I am able to better focus if I read it out loud, especially the poetry. Short stories, it's more like if I get lost, like if I was reading and then my mind started to drift, I have to like force myself to come back to where I was. And if I like read that part aloud and like start reading it aloud, then like I'm able to like focus on what I'm actually reading. So for school, I've found that that's helpful. For fun reading, silently in my head works perfect. Number 9, do you read ahead or even skip pages? So only accidentally. My mom does this thing where she'll read the last page of a book first just to like find out what happens, and that bugs me to no end. But no, I only read in order. Sometimes like my eyes will skip ahead and I'll like accidentally see something, but I'm usually not trying to do that. Number 10, breaking the spine or keeping it like new. So I don't like go and intentionally like break the spine, but I typically don't mind if the spine is broken. Like my Percy Jackson books, especially the first one and the last one, actually, you can see like clear line where the spine has been broken. I'll usually try and keep it from like breaking hugely, but I won't like try extra hard. It doesn't matter terribly much to me. And number 11, do you write in your books? So yes and no. I don't typically write in my books, but I've started to, well, I think the only book I've written that was for fun is An Ember in the Ashes, because it's my favorite book. But I wouldn't mind like annotating some of my favorite books, like when I'm rereading them again and again and again. I don't usually write in my books, mostly because I like having kind of like almost like a library style of, I lend out my books quite a bit, especially to my friend Molly, but any of my friends are free to borrow books from me at any time. But because of that, I don't want to write in my books in case if I end up lending them out to somebody. And also, like, when I was younger, because like we used the library so much, I was taught to not write in books. And so I remember when I first joined BookTube, and also one of my English teachers in high school was like encouraging us to like write in our books, and I was just like, you can't do that, like that's awful, what a bad person kind of thing. But obviously I've grown around to the idea, and I think it's really cool when people do write in books. I just don't tend to. I don't really make it a habit, and I still use the library quite a bit, so I'm constantly reading books from the library, so I really, like, don't write in library books. Like, if you have a library book, do not write in it. If you own the book, feel free to go for it, but, like, because of that, it's just not really become a habit for me, so I don't tend to write in my books. But I would like to get better at that and, like, write in some of my favorite books or something. So yeah, that was it. That was the reader's habit tag. Let's see what it's called. The reading habits tag. Again, I'll link Ariel's video in the description below. Comment down below, let me know what the answers to these questions would be for you. This is just a fun video for me to get off my butt and do something today. And I know the world kind of sucks right now, but I'm hoping that with people still creating art and content, it will help us get through this really rough time. And I've done a bunch of these Star Kid musicals as the playlist book tag already. I've already filmed like I think 4 of them now, so you'll have more of those coming in the following weeks as well. So yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you want to follow me on social media, all my links will be in the description as always. I'm always free to talk on any of that stuff. I love when people talk to me, so feel free to send me whatever kind of message you want. So yeah, that's it for this video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!